Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pull up on your block like what's the word?
What's the word?
Ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve.
Tryna serve.
Pull up on your block like what's the word?
What's the word?
We unbiased and it's getting on they nerves. I'm like, fact, what's the word?
What's
I'm
the
like,
word?
what's the word?
What's the word?
And I'm on they ass just like a perv.
Like a bird.
What's the word?
What's the word?
What's the word?
What's the word?
Ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve.
Tryna serve.
Switch up, never give up. Ayy, this that content that fill them ribs up. Really eat, dig up, most shit don't miss us. Ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve.
Tryna serve.
Pull up on your block like what's the word?
What's the word?
I ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve.
Tryna serve.
What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Shout out to all the battle rap fans. Shout out to all the New England battle rap fans. Shout out to everybody that's been tapping in recently. As y'all can see today, we got the Kingpen of New England. It's gonna be with us today, man. We're gonna dive into some things with his career. You know, we're gonna talk about this fire massacre card coming up. And of course, we have to talk about Chilla Jones versus T-Rex. I'm so excited for this interview. I feel like this is one of those ones where, it means a lot. This platform, we've been doing this for over a year now. I think we're going on 2. We've had some good guests up here, guys like Swave Sever, you know what I'm saying? Tay Rock, we've had some fire names on the platform, and it's an honor, you know what I'm saying, and a privilege that I could say that we about to add Chilla Jones. And of course, we had him up here for some face-offs, but this is an interview strictly for Chilla. Gonna learn some things about his career, get his perspective on a few things. You know what I mean? This is the Kingpen, man. A lot of stuff he says, it matters, man, especially to us, in this culture, as far as New England, we've watched Chilla Jones rise. We watched him, even though he's always kind of been a household name in battle rap, but we watched the growth. We watched him go from, Chilla that helped revolutionize this sport, all the way up to becoming champion of the year. We're going to dive into all of those things, like there's so many things that we've seen from Chilla Jones, you know what I'm saying? And, as a fan, as a protege, you know what I'm saying? I can say that I'm proud, you know what I'm saying, that he's at the top of our region, somebody that's leading the way for us to gain much success in the future. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very, very humbling. On top of the fact, Chilla Jones has been one of the most humble battle rappers we've had in this game. You know what I'm saying? I never seen a moment where he wasn't grounded. You know what I'm saying? Never seen a moment where he was acting, of course, everybody we're confident in our pens. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna be confident in our pen. But he's never been the type to belittle others. You know what I'm saying? From my point of view, he's always been quick to give a helping hand, you know what I'm saying, to a lot of people who need it, you know what I'm saying? And that includes myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was one of the picks for the Crucible. Thanks to Chilla Jones, I was able to go and enjoy that experience. You know what I'm saying? So the man has been putting on, you know what I'm saying? The man has definitely been paving the way for a lot of talent. And, like I said, it's an honor that we gonna have him on the platform, y'all. You know what I mean? We still waiting on Chilla. He should be here soon. He told me he wanted to get a little drink, pour up a little something for the interview. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at that. So in the meantime, of course, we're gonna talk a little bit. This fire card. Y'all, don't get it twisted, y'all. This card is crazy. You know what I'm saying? In the center of this, Big K versus Tay Rock. Oh my God. If you don't understand the magnitude of this battle, you're not of the culture. Simple and plain. I don't know what to tell you. If you do not know the magnitude of Big K versus Tay Rock, you're not of the culture. Step your cookies up. You feel me? That battle is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's already been, huge debates on, why Tay Rock has never won champion of the year with all the work he's put in. You know, Big K with a controversial win. Like his win was very, very controversial. You know what I'm saying? So watching them two go at it head to head, it's gonna be time to find out. You know what I'm saying? Is Tay Rock gonna build on this year he's having and show us why he's the champ? Or, is Big K gonna show us, he rightfully earned that champion of the year? You know what I'm saying? And this battle right here is gonna be the one that tell us all of that. So I can see we got a lot of different fire battles, and we will get into that soon. But without further ado, gotta bring the man of the hour up here, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Chilla Jones. Let's bring him up on his stage, man. Chilla,
What up? What's up, my boy? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, man. I can't complain. How you feeling going into this card?
I'm excited, man. I think this is it's not new. Obviously, like I've put together cards before. I've done Shark Tank stuff. I think, this is probably the biggest card that I've had a hand in terms of matchups and yeah.
You got some big cards, man.
No, that's true. As like a behind the scenes or like a league owner, helper, whatever you want to call it, type of genre.
Yeah.
I think, I think the Shark Tank stuff was pretty monumental, but I think this is this is a little bit heavier than that. As a battler, I've definitely been a part of some crazy events, different King of the Dot stuff, different gnomes. Both gnomes I was on was crazy. World dominations with King of the Dot has been crazy. I've definitely been a part of some historic battle rap cards, but this is obviously I'm biased, but this is one of the better cards I've seen in a really long time, man. Like top to bottom. A lot of talent, old, new, different styles, and then plus the different people making their debuts between Rock's debut, Twerk's debut. This is actually 40's debut on King of the Dot. Yoshi's debut on King of the Dot. Chirac's debut on King of the Dot. I believe it might be Chef Trez's debut on King of the Dot. There might be like one or two other people, but like, I think it kind of gave the card it's kind of a different feel than I think the average King of the Dot card, man. So I'm super excited going into it as staff, but I'm even more excited going into it as a battler, man. I'm really excited for this battle.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And man, now that you put it that way, though, I can see how you could say this is one of the bigger cards. You got a lot of heavy hitters that's debuting, so that makes it way more of a bigger deal, And it's a power move, man. Like y'all putting these together, woo, man. So
yeah, it's definitely a power move, and I hope that after this event, we can continue to have marquee events in our region going forward, whether it's King of the Dot, whether it's URL, whether it's just TBL, like however it's put together. I think the New England region is next up, bro. You already know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Not only from a talent standpoint and the talent we have, but just in terms of like the culture, the growth of the scene, the talent level, the amount of shows and the magnitude of events that we can do here. Like I think New England is just the next hot region for battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I think the next 3-5 years, you know, everybody has had their run. New York had their run. Midwest had their run. West Coast, Geechee, Danny, and Rum came in. The Carolinas had their run with Top, Briz, None, Chaos, a couple other people. But I think it's time for New England. I think it's time we have our run, bro. What do you think?
I think so. You know,
I
I
agree.
really think, you know, this card for a good start, you know, because I think this is, you know, we've had other cards, you know, big cards, you know, we had A Ward out here, you know, we had, you know what I'm saying, some good things going on, but you know, this right here is that transition of the big, huge events and have this ongoing, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
the start is crazy, you know, like y'all did not miss with this one. Y'all made sure that this was gonna work, you know,
For sure.
for sure, you know. So that's pretty dope, man. One more question before I get into like, you know, some things that I want to ask because I want the people to, you know, to kind of get to know Chilla Jones a little bit more, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? Get into your mind a little bit.
Yep.
You know, how different was this? Because like you said earlier, you know, you've always seen it from the battler's perspective, but now you're coming from the owner's perspective. Did that kind of like change your perspective on a lot of things going forward? You know, now that you've seen like what goes into these huge events behind the scenes?
Yeah, definitely, bro. Especially like when it comes to the accountability. Like
Mm,
that more than anything, right? Because at the end of the day, um as the, you know, Zay and Kenny are the owners. I don't like calling myself a league owner, but as one of the faces or one of the influencers, um, you know, in terms of helping TBO make certain moves and putting TBO in certain lights. Um, Especially with this event, I've started to realize like, you know, people will message you or tweet you and be like, oh, so and so is not going to show up,
mm,
and that's when it kind of reminds you like, yo, if all of these battlers don't come to the event and don't make it on stage and don't rap 3 rounds without slipping or choking, somehow, some way, the accountability is going to fall back on us.
mm, mm.
It's going to fall back on us. Like the battler will take the flack that they'll get, but it's gonna change the way people perceive the battle. It's gonna change the way people even perceive us as a league.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Because people might get the idea, oh, they didn't take this King of the Dot TBL shit serious. Or these these battlers, you know what I'm saying, 4 people didn't show up. They didn't take the opportunity serious. So why should we as fans?
Mm.
And it's that kind of accountability that I think as a battle rapper, you think about yourself in that regard. Like, yeah, I gotta show up and I gotta have 3 rounds, and for the sake of my career, I know I have to carry myself and do things a certain way. But as a league owner, all of those decisions from all of those battle rappers and even other people on your staff, like it all falls back on you. So like that's one area of B&B, I think during this experience especially, that I've kind of, you know, I have a lot of respect for King of the Dot. I have a lot of respect for URL, Bullpen, iBattle, OSBL, NBA, everybody that throws events, has thrown events, has continued to carry the culture in their respective areas and regions. Because you can get blamed for 1,000 things that aren't even in your control.
That's true.
And it's just on you. If none of your battlers show up and your card don't go down, you the one that got to give out refunds. You the one that might still have to pay battlers because they came from X place and their opponent didn't show up. But it's but they were ready to rap, so you gotta take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the accountability that league owners and people responsible for the leagues and events have to take, I think that's definitely the one area BNB where this experience has made me look at it like, man, that's a really serious thing to deal with. And this is the first time that I feel like I'm dealing with it at this scale. I can't imagine being 15 years in like URL or 16 years in like King of the Dot and some of these other major leagues that have been here forever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a lot to undertake.
Do you think with all that going on, do you think that is going to play a role in your focus for this battle, or do you think you're just still going to be able to be locked in 100%?
Nah, I'm locked. I'm locked right now.
Say that.
I'm locked right now. Yeah.
Okay, well, before we get into, Chilla Jones versus T-Rex, this is something that, I've been starting on this platform, want people to get to know the battle a little bit more, Don't want to go through the cliche things that's already been said, but I definitely think it's important for some people to understand who the battler is. And it also helps people, understand where the bars come from, where that type of mindset, which your pen comes from, all those things are really important. So first thing first, I got to ask, how was Chilla Jones' upbringing like? We all know you from Boston. What was it like growing up out
there? Grew up in Dorchester, Blue Hill Ave. For people that are familiar with the city and the area of the city that's in. Pops wasn't around. Mm-hmm. Single mother, 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? My mom's did her thing. 2-3 jobs at a time. Work hard. Put me through private school for the early part of my education. You know what I'm saying? Like 2nd grade through 6th grade. As far as middle school and high school, I went to Boston Latin Academy in Roxbury. I dropped out of Boston Latin Academy in 9th grade. Surprises a lot of people. I never finished high school. I don't have a diploma.
Get the fuck out of here.
I never went to college. A lot of people, when I tell them that, there's a few things that when I tell people, they're like, I would have never guessed. Yeah, no, I didn't finish high school. I smoke weed regularly. Like this, like people think I don't know what people think, but yeah. So I didn't finish high school. I literally turned 18 and was like, because of my upbringing, I was like, I got to get to the bread. I went and got a job. I started working at Radio Shack. I don't work for Verizon. I don't work for a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? In my teenage years, in my early 20s. But my upbringing was what you would expect for growing up, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the hood in Boston, middle of the Dorchester. You know what I'm saying? I done lost friends to gun violence. I done lost friends to suicide. I done lost friends to drug overdoses. I done lost friends to drunk driving.
Yeah, the story
kind of the same. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I would imagine that most people that have grew up in that kind of predominantly Black neighborhood, that's some of the things that we go through, right? But yeah, man, that was my upbringing. In terms of what I'm saying, what schooling was like, what my life was like. I was always into sports. I used to play basketball and football heavy. I had the choice when I went to private school in 6th grade. I had got scouted by Belmont Hill, which is like an all-boys school in Belmont, and they wanted to bring me in on a basketball scholarship, but it was partial.
So you was nice. You was nice on that court.
At a point, I was dead nice. I say at a point because I'm terrible now. But yeah, so at that point, they had scouted me and they wanted to bring me in, but the scholarship was partial. So instead of it being, I want to say it was probably like 18, 20K a year, it would have been like 12 to 14. And because of my upbringing and because, you know what I'm saying, my mom's was busting her ass, working 2-3 jobs at a time just to make ends meet, to be able to keep us, you know what I'm saying, how we needed to be.
Yeah.
I didn't feel right even at that time as a young man. I didn't feel right signing her up for another 4 to 6 years of that type of, you know what I'm saying, like financial responsibility.
Yeah. Because
Um,
you're gonna need it.
exactly. So, you know, in my mind, it was like I could go to Belmont Hill, I could do my thing there, and you know, who knows what kind of strain that's gonna put on, you know, moms. Or I can go to Boston Latin Academy. That shit is 5 minutes from the crib. It's a quick bus ride. It's, you know what I'm saying, like free, the convenience of it. And then my older brother and my older sister went to that school as well. So like a lot of those teachers and shit kind of already knew me, you know what I'm saying, off the strength of my older bro and my older sis. So you know, that was why I ended up going to Boston Latin Academy instead of Belmont Hill. But yeah, sports, video games. I've always been I just always been a competitive nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my, yeah. Rose is the spot. Rose is right. Listen, not, you know what I'm saying, not to give away my location, but I'm within walking distance of Roses. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, so still planted in the community.
oh yeah, I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood for sure.
Sure.
But yeah, so I've always been a competitive nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been, whether it was video games, whether it was sports, whether it was board games, whether it was whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when I fell into battle rap, and I found battle rap through Smack DVD, and then also through Grind Time battles on World Star, it was just kind of a natural fit for me. So that was kind of how I got into battle rap more in the freestyle era. And that's kind of what's always been like what drew me to, you know, battle rap as a culture, like the competitive nature of it. You know what I'm saying? I love rap, but the competitive nature of battle rap has always been like, you know what I'm saying, what keeps me here.
Okay. I gotta add this too before I get into my next question. You sound like you got a lot of similarities to Biggie Smalls. You spoke on, the private school, young, dropped out, and y'all also your pens were advanced for your time. So when you said that to me, that kind of like clicked in my head, like, wow, you got a lot of comparisons to Biggie Smalls. That's not nobody. That's a good name to be compared to.
Nah,
so
that's
that's
facts.
cool.
That's facts.
So
It's a good observation.
for sure. So I did a little homework, and Wikipedia we can't always trust. So we're gonna find out if some of these things are true or not. So I noticed that in 2007 you dropped a tape called Jones. Is that true?
Yep.
Okay.
It's called Jones the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, it's called Jones the Mixtape. Yep. So on that tape, it said that it was hosted by DJ Vlad. So I gotta ask, like, what was music of like around that time for you? Because you must have had a pretty decent buzz going on. You know what I mean? To collab with names like that, because I think he was already established with his media at that time as well, right? Yeah.
He had just kind of started that avenue. So at that time, I was making music. I want to say at that time I was maybe like 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And locally, I definitely had a buzz on the scene. This is around the same time names like Millie's, Joyner Lucas, Michael Christmas, Cousin Stiz, Mouthy, like we all kind of around the same 2-3 year period, all kind of got our start and started kind of building our name. I was down with a group of producers known as the Track Slayers. They were signed to Grand Hustle.
Okay.
So I was an artist under them, and so through them, they had a relationship with DJ Vlad, and they were able to basically set up that situation for me, for DJ Vlad to host my mixtape. So at this point, he wasn't like Vlad TV Vlad yet.
Yeah.
He was still very big, like on the mixtape scene, the mixtape circuit. Like there were a few DJs, like if you had them host your shit, Drama, Vlad, White Owl, Clue, a few of them. That if they hosted your shit, it was a really good look. DJ Vlad was definitely one of them at that time. He hadn't really gotten into his media bag yet, but when he did get into his media bag, he definitely remembered working with me on that mixtape. And I think it was right after my DNA battle. He brought me up to the Vlad TV offices and let me do an interview up there and chopped it up. So that was dope at that time to see myself on Vlad TV also, and that had just stemmed from having worked with him in the past and having networked and built that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always say, and that's why I always encourage people, like even if you're not performing, even if you're not battling, like even if the card or the event has nothing to do with you, man. Sometimes just being in the right place at the right time and meeting certain people, that comes back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like a few years down the road, I remember that dude B&B. I seen him at an event one time. He shook my hand. We had a conversation about something. So now when it comes down to, I could, you know what I'm saying? I got to choose from a bunch of people, but I know B&B. I don't know these other people, but I remember the conversation I had with homie, and it was a good conversation. Let me fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it could be one little 10-minute conversation that happened 3 or 4 years ago that leads you to a bigger opportunity in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a situation where having worked with him in I want to say it was 2007, 2008, having worked with him in 2007, allowed for me to be on his media platform in 2013.
Yep. We're gonna get into that too. I got a few questions centered on some of those interviews. So let's get into it, because not too long after that, of course, you eventually got your start into battle rap. Can we talk about, what prompted that transition from, strictly music to, let me do this battle thing? What made you want to do that?
Honestly, it was the advice of a couple other local rappers. Slang, Terminology, both of those dudes had watched my battle with Interstate Flames that I did in Shark Tank, and they were like, "Yo, when's your next battle?" And I was like, I don't have. I'm not a battler, bro. I make music. I don't have a next battle. And they both were like, separately, they both were like, yo, if you don't pursue this, like if you don't continue to do this at this high level, you would be crazy to want to be a needle in the haystack on the Boston music scene than to be the only thing moving from Boston on a national battle scene. You would be crazy. And when they put it to me like that, I said, you know what? They might be right, because at the very least, I can use these battles to push my music, and at least I'm able to use this platform to get my music outside the city. So I can go to New York and battle on a URL card and hand out my mixtapes. I can go to, you know what I'm saying, King of the Dot in Canada, and I may not be getting booked for shows up there to do songs, but it's another outlet for me to be able to get my name out there and to get my product out there. So when I thought of it that way, that was what kind of you know, got me into the mindset of, let me take this battle rap shit a little more seriously. So that was what pushed me into it a little further.
Okay. I also pretty sure too, once you kind of saw that algorithm hit crazy, I'm sure that was like, oh
yeah. Nah, 100%. I didn't know, honestly, BNB, like, I didn't know, like, I would always watch as a fan, right? And as a fan, around this time, like when I battle Interstate Flames, this is around the time of like Rosenberg debut, John debut, B Magic. Like these guys are brand new on URL.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching it, and their footage is dropping on the YouTube, and it's, you know, old school URL is dropping round by round. First round Friday, second round Monday. Like they dragging, you know, the way they used to do things back in the day. And so as a fan, like watching it and seeing it, it was always cool. But I never put myself there. Like even going to New York and doing a URL battle and being on stage and having that experience, I never once thought about the footage until the footage came out. And I'm like, damn, we did 120,000 views in 5 days. I never did this type of number on a music, on a like the only thing close to that I did any type of numbers on is I did a cipher in the city called the Boston Cipher, and it did about that number on World Star. Did about 100,000 views in a week on World Star, which was crazy for us. And that was a couple years prior. But like, yeah, when Me versus Cash Eaton dropped on URL, and I seen those numbers, and I could see the followers on Twitter, and I could just see everything like change.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I get it. Now it clicks. Now I get it. I understand why this was the right decision. And I think it took that for me to fully buy into what they were saying. But
I would see that. Yeah, because you know the money wasn't also in battle rap the way it is now, I would say. You know, so
right. And I wasn't getting paid at that point either. You know what I'm saying? So it was still an investment to, URL wants me to come out there. Okay, let me buy it. Let me buy a train ticket. Or if my homie is pulling up, if I'm riding out, let me make sure he got gas money, whatever the case. Okay, we're gonna battle at 10 o'clock at night. I'm not trying to drive back, so niggas gotta get a telly. Niggas gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an investment. You spending a few $100s to do a tryout battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is the same thing that people are going through when they do crucibles, right? Like there's no guarantee that the money you invest in itself is gonna put you exactly where you want to go. At the end of the day, your fate is in the hands of whatever powers that be is in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it didn't click to me like what I was doing it for until that first YouTube drop, until me and Cash Eaton came out, until I was able to even watch it. Like I wasn't able to watch it before it came out. So like we battled in March. I think it came out in June, mid-May or early June. And I'm just watching myself, and I'm like, yo, this is it feels like I'm not him.
Yeah. Like
I'm watching it as a fan, and it's me versus somebody else, but I'm not. It doesn't feel like there was still kind of like a detached, like just the way I saw it, like I was looking at somebody else. It was weird. But that was kind of when it clicked to me, like, okay, I get it now. I see. And then from there, once I kind of understood it, I was able to take off with it.
Okay. Well, you know, one saying that we always say is, you know, you can't teach star power. You know, so, and if you ask me at that time, I still kind of consider that the golden age of battle rap because of all the stars that was produced at that time. So, you know, what was it like, you know, navigating through all of these type of people that had that type of energy and that star presence with them. You know, what was that like at that time?
Uh, I think what's interesting, B&B, is I would tell you back then it in the moment it felt really challenging for me because my natural normal nature, I'm quiet, I'm humble, I'm off, like I don't necessarily want to be the center of attention. I'm chilling, and obviously like that's not the ideal personality that you want to have as a rapper or as an entertainer of any sort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so during that time, you have Charlie Clips, fresh off of, Summer Madness 1 with Verb. You have Hitman, you have Arsenal, you have Hollow, you have Rex, you have Mook, you have Sirius Jones, you have DNA, you have E-Nets, you have Iron Solomon. Like you have all these different people who are original, who sound, none of them sound the same. They all sound different. They all have images. They all have fan bases, right? And then even still, you have, from my point of view, it was like you have the seniors. The seniors were John, Rosenberg, Clean Paper, B Magic, JC, Young Cannon, O-Red. These were the people that were like not the vet level and not like the, you know what I'm saying? They didn't start here, right? But they were the people that were kind of next in line to get to that level.
Yep, they had a little run. I remember that time.
You know what I'm saying? And then it felt like I was behind that, which was myself, Danger Zone, Big K, Ill Will. Who else was there around that time? Born was there. Might be one or two other people are missing. Yeah, might be one or two other people are missing, but like it felt like we were behind them, right? So like we were the newest class. We were behind the first class, and the first class was behind all the top tiers. So when it came to standing out, when it came to being original, when it came to like whatever, like if you didn't have an original style, you didn't last. You didn't last. If you came out and they were like, "Oh, you sound like B Magic," it was over for you. It was
sound
over.
Like 90s hip hop.
It was over for you. You had to sound different, which is why me relying so much on schemes earlier in my career was such a good approach for me. Even though I could do all the other stuff that other people were doing, relying so much on schemes on URL was great for me because nobody else was really doing that. And then when everybody started doing that, they said, "Oh, you sound like Chilla."
Yep, they sure did.
You sound like, oh, y'all niggas starting to rap like Chilla. Everybody's starting to scheme. Everybody's starting to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was great for me because it gave me credibility, and it gave me this reputation of, oh, his writing is crazy. He influenced this whole culture for 2-3 years and changed the way people wrote their bars. You know what I'm saying? It gave me a lot of credibility. So at that time, like, if you weren't original and you just didn't stand out from everybody, you didn't make it. Now, nowadays, compared to like now, I've had arguments with people about whether it was easier to make it back then or whether it's easier to make it now. And I've gone back and forth, B&B, because I feel like it's so oversaturated now.
I agree.
It's so oversaturated now, bro. There's so many leagues. There's so many battles. There's so many battlers. and I think a lot of battlers are like stuck, like they don't know what they need to do to stand out or to be original or to, you know what I'm saying, like give themselves that air of originality that you just had to have back then or it was over for you.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so many people, it's hard to. There was a time where, you know what I'm saying, being a blood or being a Crip, like, would have gave you some originality points.
But now it don't. Yeah.
Now it's like
They
there's
all
a
over. They
lot
all
of
over.
gang representation in battle rap, and so now it doesn't seem as it doesn't set people apart as much as it used to. You know what I'm saying? And I think especially for those who really like live that life, I think there's a lot of people that sell it more to try and have that originality in the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't just feel that way about like gang stuff. I feel that way about everything. I feel that way about people claiming certain, you know what I'm saying, certain hoods. I feel that about people claiming certain, just like how people carry themselves in a persona. People who don't have money for the sake of battle rap will try and pretend they got money because it's a part of the image that they want to have.
Yeah.
It's a characteristic that they want to be included in the way you perceive them. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think nowadays separating yourself or putting yourself in a place where people take you more seriously and you can kind of stand out, I think it's at least just as difficult now, and it may be more difficult.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's more difficult to get somebody to even watch a battle nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
Would you say that's accurate?
I would definitely say it's accurate. As somebody who battles, you know, and like for me, I love this culture. You know, I love to watch battles. I love to do it, but it's so much. Like I only got 24 hours a day, and it's more battles to fit that 24-hour gap. You know what I mean? And there's stuff dropping every day. There's a flyer every day, you know, a new league every day. You know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you. It's harder to grow. It's harder to become a star today. But I also think the culture now, it's easy to get in. So it's easy to get in, hard to become a star. You know, just like how you spoke to, you know, back then, if you wasn't original, we got you out of here. Whereas today, it's hard to get people out of here. They just go to another league. Another, you know.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's hard to get people out. You know, it's easy to get people in, but that make that star, it's very difficult today, man. And I also think, you know, a lot of guys from your era, and this is not like a flack on y'all, but I think y'all made it harder for the generations after. You know, I felt like sometimes the bar was set so high, you know, it's like it's hard to follow that up, you know. It's very difficult, you know what I mean, because it was set so high. A lot of y'all got to say some of the, you know, bars first, or you know, you got to introduce scheming in a way that you know. So now it's like can't nobody else do that again. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a one and done. You know what I mean? So
right.
I definitely think a lot of y'all set the bar extremely high.
And what I also think, B&B, to add on to that, because I agree with you 100%, is I don't think in battle rap there's been enough ushering in of newer generations. And when I say that, I mean when Lux was Lux, he gave birth to Lion's Den. And in Lion's Den, we met K-Shine, we met Goods, we met Ice, we met Tech-9, we met Rich Dollars, we met Conceited, we met Arsenal, we met certain people. Like potentially for the very first time. And this was,
and it felt good
because right. And it's because we knew that all of these MCs had the cosign, the blessing, the approval of Lux. Right? And so like there was the ushering in of those guys. When we see the story about Verb and Holla and Young Ill going to New York to battle Goods and everybody they were supposed to battle, that's another side of it. That's where Verb got his credibility from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That ushered in. It feels like there's no ushering in anymore. It feels like there's no top tier, god tier, legend tier battler from a city that's taking a battler under their wing, working with that battler, developing that battler, coaching that battler, and then when that battler is ready, potentially bringing them to a league or to a situation and saying, "Yo, this is my guy." Like I'm co-signing him. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be battling as much. This is my replacement. He's got everything I got. Run with him, and it feels like, although that's not what Lions Den was necessarily, like the fact that all those guys had the cosign of Lux just instantly gave them credibility. It instantly gave them, you know what I'm saying, like a level of respect that somebody else from Jersey or somebody else from Harlem. Oh, if you hot and you not in Lions Den, you can't be as hot as these niggas. These are the hottest in New York. And I know that because this is Lux's brand. And I know Lux.
Yeah, like you can't even be considered the hottest if you ain't even touch it. You know,
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do work to get in there to prove that you can, you know what I'm saying, that you belong there. So I feel like that's not happening enough, right? Like who of the top tiers, of the legend tiers, of the god tiers is really like pushing newer talent to the forefront. I think what Hitman is doing is dope with Bags and Bodies, and I think that's kind of what I would like to see other top tier / legend tier people do. I think when you look at John being a league owner for Bullpen, when you look at certain situations like that, I think all of that is what needs to happen. I think all of that stuff is what needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I wish we saw that more, because then I think it would make it easier for people to figure out how to get where they want to go. If B&B knows that he has to battle on Bullpen to get the cosign of John, who can put him in position to battle on certain other stages, that's a way easier thing to be able to tell you or explain to you as an up and coming battler than to just be like, all right, well, you can go do this league, but you'll have to go through this process, and then you'll have to get picked. And then once you're picked, you'll have to do this and hope you get picked again. And then if you get picked again, this will happen. And then once that happens, you'll do this. And if by chance you get like, not no by chance stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to this league, kick some ass, make that nigga respect you, and you'll have a name. If it was just as easy as telling you that or telling anybody that, the process would be goody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to see, I say all that to say, I want to see more legend tiers, top tiers, god tier MCs from my generation and generations before in your respective cities. Get involved in the leagues, get involved in the cultures in your respective regions, figure out who's hot, and do the best that you can do to push them to the forefront to represent yourself and to represent your region. That's the only way we can get order back, and it's the only way that the real talent can shine in the respective regions, in my opinion.
I could agree with that. I also feel like too, you know, putting money behind promotion is important. You know, You got to put money in promotion. Sometimes, you got to make that investment to get your people's faces in the right, areas. You know what I mean? You know, like the bullpen, that's, I like what John John's doing over there, but that's a league, that's a battle league, and sometimes he has to think about his brand more than individual artists per se. So, you know what I'm saying? And just like how we spoke about how so many artists now, sometimes putting a lot of money into one artist could cause a lot of issues with 10 other artists you got that's sitting there like, well, what about me? You done put 10,000 into his promotion, can I get a good 10 piece? You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's a lot of that going on too as well, so I definitely could agree with that wholeheartedly for sure. So I gotta ask, you brought up scheming earlier, now you brought it into the table. I gotta ask, was that something that was like natural for you? Did you have to like, really, sit down, do some studying? Like, how was that scheming? How was you able to really bring that in so, efficiently?
Yeah. So I've always been like, as a rapper, I've always been like a punchline / wordplay type of rapper. That's always been my thing. Musically inspired by Jay-Z, Jada, Fab, Banks, Cannabis, Cassidy, old school Cicero, Joe Budden, Paul Kane, like, you know what I'm saying? Like wordplay, slick, witty type. Like that's always been my bag as a musician, as a rapper in general. It changed to schemes when I watched for the first time Mook and Lux in the clothing store. Now, I feel like 10 years ago, if I would have said that, everybody would know what I'm talking about. But I feel like in 2024, everybody may not know or understand what I'm talking about. For those who don't, go to YouTube, look up Murder Mook versus Loaded Lux. It's in a clothing store for 9 rounds. Most of the YouTube footage is split into 5 rounds and 4 because only 5 rounds were on the DVD. And then there were 4 other rounds that happened that weren't on the DVD, but that happened that you can find on YouTube. Anyway, in that battle, Mook has a scheme about a hero sandwich. You want to be a hero for the bread and the cheese? We'll roast the beef, hit them with hot peppers, then slice his onion, so please don't let us. While y'all play catch up, and then he goes into some other stuff, right? So like, when I heard that, for whatever reason, that just triggered me. I was like, yo, that breakdown of a sandwich that's also, you know what I'm saying, also just dissing a nigga. I was like, yo, that was super clever. You want to be a hero sandwich, but a hero for the bread and the cheese. We'll roast the beef, hit them with hot peppers, then slice his onion. So please don't let us while y'all play catch up. And I was like, yo, just the wittiness of that, I think just set off a chain of like, yo, what else could you do that with? And it was just and for me, bro, it was just like a rabbit hole of experimenting and figuring out like, yo, what else could you do that with? And so when I battle Interstate Flames, if anybody who watches that Shark Tank battle from way 2010, whenever it was, there's so many schemes in that battle because I literally was just like, let me see if this works. Let me do a scheme on furniture. I do a scheme on furniture. which gave birth to Charlie Clips, who guess which room I'm in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um, I did a scheme of countries that was crazy. I did a scheme of what else in that battle? Fruits and vegetables. I did a scheme, like just so many different things. Because at the time it was like I never heard it, and it was just new and it was just interesting. Like, yo, let me see what let me oh okay, let me do fruits. Let me do animals. Let me do board games. And it literally, bro. I'm not gonna say it became an obsession, but like it just was fun for me.
Yeah.
And I got better at it and better at it and better at it. And it was just like just became my thing. I became really good at it. Became really good at putting them together. Became really good at like just the wordplay aspect of it. It just became my thing, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, it really started from hearing the hero scheme that Mook used on Lux. And it just like literally it literally just set me off. Like literally just set me off.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire. Okay, so I got another question, another question.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point you was talking about when you had an interview, you was talking about how you felt like there was a gap between top tiers and PG talent. So I gotta
Mm-hmm.
ask, do you feel like that still applies today? Do you feel like that gap has gotten smaller?
Yes. I feel like the gap has gotten smaller for a lot of different reasons, but I think kind of the biggest reason is the PGs or let's just say, I don't want to say PGs because the PGs don't exist anymore, but I'll say mid tier, up and come, however you want to phrase it. I think the gap has gotten smaller because the culture's had a chance to grow and be around. So what you have is you have some people that might still be considered up and comers or who might still be considered mid tier or low tier, but they've been here for 8 years. Or they've been here for 10 years now. So it's different. When I originally had that interview was probably 2013, 2014, and I would say that the PGs or mid tiers or low tiers had maybe only been around for 3 years, 2 years. And so the gap between a Loaded Lux or an A-Verb or whatever and like a Johnny Alcatraz or a Cash Eaton, or at the time it was probably Adi Boom, Steams, Brooklyn Carter, Presidential Dubs, like, yeah, the gap was there. It was visible. You could see it. But when you look now, even if you look at something like the RBE Brick process, or you look at the URL Crucibles or King of the Dot GZs, you find people like Eunice, who's doing his thing against top tiers. You find people like CJA, who's doing his thing against top tiers. You find people like Appa. You find people like B&B. You find people like D White. You find people like Ishmula. You know what I'm saying? Who, through their own experiences and their own trials and tribulations, have gotten a chance to prove that they can compete with some of the best in the world. And so that gap to me is much, much smaller now than it's ever been. It's kind of the same way I look at NBA basketball compared to international talent. When we had the Dream Team, that gap was huge, right?
Yep.
Now you see, you know what I'm saying, Braun and Steph and Durant and they having a problem with Serbia.
Yep,
And
still a little bit more talented. They having issues with him for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And these are some of the best niggas to ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
These are some of the best to ever do it, right? But on any given day, on any given night, you just might just run into that one shooter from Serbia.
Yep.
Or that one center, that one Wembenyama who's like, yeah, I've been battle rapping for 2 years, but I've been studying y'all for 10, and I know what y'all do. And now I'm ready to cook. And it's like you didn't really have that 10 years ago or even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's why you can look at somebody like Real Sick who will tell you this is his 4th year battling.
Mm-hmm.
And he's where he is. It didn't take him 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. He's somebody that sat back and watched the culture, and when he was ready to jump in it and do his thing, he had it figured out. And I feel like that happens a lot nowadays. A lot of people that I've only been doing this 2-3 years. You see people from spaces like Eunice and Appa converting to 3 rounds in person, kicking ass, doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? So the skill gap is definitely less in B&B, and I think for certain people of your caliber of talent, and greater, like names are names, and respect to the names and what goes into them, and the hard work that's put into building themselves as names. But any of us can lose to anyone on any given night, and I think we've seen it. I think we've seen it with you and Rubando. I think we see it with, you know what I'm saying. I mean, plenty of examples. Febo and Shotgun Suge. Like, it's a toss up. It's no longer a situation where you're like, oh, so and so's battling so and so. Okay, I know how that's gonna turn out. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, nah, like there's talent everywhere. There's talent everywhere. There's talent in every region. There's talent in every league. There's gunners everywhere. You never know. That's why I'm a little bit more particular now. Like when I take battles, I'm like, yo, I'll be honest with you, B&B. A few years ago, like I would take battles, I wouldn't know what people would sound like. Yeah, if you got what I want to get paid, I'll take them. I don't gotta watch them. I know they're not better than me. I don't do that no more. I can't do that no more.
Yeah.
I get an offer. Okay, give me one day. Let me watch them. Because if this is gonna take a lot of energy for me to beat them, I might have to change my price. because a lot of you niggas is high risk, low reward. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
And I've been one of them niggas, so I get it. But a lot of us who are high risk, low reward, we get ducked. And we get ducked a lot, and we get ducked for a long time. And sometimes that's the reason certain niggas haven't broken through. Because they watch our battles and they be like, B&B might be a problem for me. I know I told y'all this price, y'all might have to double it. Oh, y'all don't want to double it? I don't want to do the battle. And then that be that. Instead of them being like, you know what? Let me get in my bag and let me pull up and give B&B that show. Niggas would be like, nah, I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like he might get me out of there. B, like I gotta up my price so that niggas don't want to pay it. So I don't gotta do this battle. You know what I'm saying? And that happens a lot. A lot of top tiers won't admit that.
I could appreciate that honesty. I could appreciate that honesty because a lot of people, you're right, will not admit that. And a lot of battlers, in the public, they're gonna give you that perception. I don't care who it is. Say the name, run it. I'm a smoker, So I'm glad. That's kind of dope that you said that because wow,
it's real. It's real, bro. It's real. There's a lot of talent out here. There's a lot of people that deserve to be further than they are, and yeah, man, all them high risk, low reward niggas is tough for y'all. It's tough for y'all. A lot of people won't give you the looks that you deserve. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't stand in front of you, and if they do, you won't get 100% version of them necessarily.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
You know,
that's real. That's
it is what
real.
it is.
So, how did it feel when it was announced? I believe it was 2021. I believe. How did you feel when it was announced that Chilla Jones was champion of the year? How was that feeling?
Man, I cried my eyes out, bro. Not gonna hold you.
Mm.
I cried my eyes out. It was a tough year for me, man. That year, much like this year, right? Like this year, like I spoke on earlier, I think on another interview with y'all, about losing my uncle who raised me. Um, the year I won champion of the year, I lost my aunt. And that was really, really tough for me. And I had kind of made it internally. I had kind of made it a mission, like these last two battles of the year, I'm gonna turn up for her. I'm gonna turn up for her. I'm gonna win this shit. And so when it finally happened, when it became official, when it was decided, it was a done deal. It felt like I got to the top of a mountain, bro, that I spent a year climbing.
Mm.
And every day I wake up and I gotta, even if I don't feel like moving, even if I'm tired, even if my ankle, like, I wake up and I'm just doing what I can to get closer to the top, closer to the top. 365 days, I'm crawling, and then to finally, like, one day wake up and just be at the top of this mountain, and to see the view, to see the other mountains, and just looking down on the land, and just, like, you know what I'm saying, like, just the moment.
Yeah.
That shit got to me, bro. That shit got to me. I'm not gonna hold you. I worked hard for it. I wanted it bad. And I think a big part of me felt like I was gonna get cheated out of it.
Mm.
Going into my battle with B Dot was the favorite, and I was the underdog, and we battled in LA, where he's from. And in my mind, I was like, the winner of this battle was gonna win champion of the year.
Mm.
And so I gotta prepare as such. I gotta leave it all on the floor, as they say. His first round is one of the best rounds of his life.
For sure.
Nigga went
Went crazy.
crazy.
You went crazy
And
that first.
in my mind, I was like, this is gonna be tough. My back is against the wall. This is gonna be tough. So my second, I did my thing. Second, it was okay from him. It was a drop off. And then my third, I think I hit a sensitive spot. Pause. With certain subjects that I was mentioning in my third with him, that nobody had ever kind of attacked, and I think I literally, like, hit a button, and it fucked up his concentration with that angle.
Yeah.
Because when he got into his third, he couldn't deliver it the way he delivered his first round. Like, the conviction wasn't there. He didn't seem as sure about the material. He didn't seem like he liked it. To the point where, in the post battle interview, he said, I lost clear. Chilla got it. Like, he admitted on camera, live, that he lost the battle that was deciding champion of the year.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I said, yes, I got it. until I got a call a week later. Yo, what's up, Bees? K-Shine, in 2.5 weeks, all right. Now, mind you, now the script was flipped. I was the favorite for champion of the year, and K-Shine was now number 2. K-Shine had just cleared Pat Stay on the same card that I beat B-Dot.
Mm-hmm.
The champion of the year vote wasn't until the end of January.
Yeah.
And technically, me and K-Shine should not have affected that vote. But ask yourself, if me and K-Shine battle on January 8th and people don't vote for champion of the year until January 30th, you don't think if K-Shine walks through Chilla, he's not gonna win that award? You think they're gonna be like, oh, well, that was this year technically, y'all? Like, nah, people are looking at this like the winner of this battle wins champion of the year.
Champion of the year, yeah.
That's how they looking at it. It may not be right, it may not be fair, but that's how they looking at it. And so I could have turned K-Shine down, right? I could have been like, nah, I'm good. But we had all like K-Shine is smart. He got me. He was talking shit on DNA's caffeine show. DNA brought me up to respond, and I didn't realize that DNA and K-Shine really were setting up a storyline for us to battle ASAP. And I didn't really realize it. Like Shine said certain shit that he said. I got up there and I said one thing in particular. I said, K-Shine is very, very talented, but he will never in his life be able to outright me in a battle.
Ooh.
And it was that thing that kind of, I think it bothered Shine.
Yeah.
So when we battled, he kind of changed his entire approach. And in his mind, he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go overly crazy with my performance, my theatrics. I'm gonna kind of show niggas that I can compete with Chilla pin wise.
Yeah.
And that was just not what he should.
Yeah. Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't what he should have did. So it worked out for me. One of the biggest bodies of my career, and it solidified me winning champion of the year by a pretty healthy margin. But like when I tell you B&B, in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, you niggas is setting me up. Y'all got me battling B-Dot in LA, the last battle of the year to decide Cody. Y'all niggas is setting me up. Y'all know damn well he's gonna have all his people there. Y'all know he's the fan favorite. He's the new hot thing in URL right now. Y'all know this is a setup. And then when I got past that, oh, you niggas is setting me up again. Y'all really don't want me to win this award. Y'all gave me B-Dot and K-Shine within 3 weeks of each other.
Yeah, that's tough. That's
and
tough.
I lost one round, and then for 5 rounds straight, wiped them niggas. Last 2 for B-Dot and 3 straight for K-Shine to win champion of the year. If I lose any of those rounds, if I lose the second or third to B-Dot, or I lose any of those rounds to Shine, like, I'm out of it. I'm out of it.
You was in your bag too, man, for Shine, because man, you won that battle in the first 10 seconds. You know.
That rebuttal changed everything, bro.
Oh my God, man.
It changed everything. And I remember that moment, bro. Like I remember him rapping, and I look back at my guy Dennis from Subjects Clothing, and I look back at him, and I was like, I looked at him as a way of saying, like, yo, is that it? Like, that's all he got? And then I started to rap, and it felt like it felt like I didn't really have people's attention. So the nigga from Caffeine walks up and starts, fixing his mic. Now, in my mind, I'm like, your man's not even rapping. Why are you fixing his mic right now? You could have let me finish my round, then fixed his mic, and then you could have gotten, you know what I'm saying? Like the disrespect.
Yeah.
For you to walk up and fix this nigga's mic while I'm rapping.
Yeah.
That was literally going through my mind, BNB. I was tight. And I was like, you know what? I got something for that ass. I got something for that ass. No, I didn't know it was gonna go crazy the way that it did.
That's crazy.
But when it did, I literally saw his demeanor go from this to this.
Oh, yes.
Like he was standing tough to deflated. And when I seen that, I said, oh, I got it.
Because I think he knew he wasn't gonna get a reaction. He wasn't gonna get those people running around that room like that. He knew that off the rip, I think. Like in the moment was just so, it just was so perfect. Like, and it's a beautiful thing that to hear that you was tight about that now. You know what I mean? Because it's a good thing that instead of you just being like, stopping your round and being like, yo, dude, like you picking now to do this. And you know what I'm saying? Instead of that, kept rapping. You know what I'm saying? Gonna turn this into a moment. Oh man. That was great.
Yeah. And when I hit that freestyle and that shit hit the way it did, I said, okay. I got you. I got to get through this round. That's what I was thinking. After I hit that freestyle, I said I already won the first. Yeah. I just got to get through it. It's 1-0, and I got all the momentum. And then Shine, for the rest of the battle, Shine just looked uncomfortable. He was trying to rebuttal things that he don't usually rebuttal. He was like doing like little wordplay things that he don't usually do. Like he wasn't regular Shine. He didn't rap like regular Shine. He didn't perform like regular Shine. And I was just cooking.
You know what's crazy? I would say that battle right there was kind of like, and just you winning champion of the year in general, I think that was very important because, it kind of showed people, a lot of people in the culture, like it all starts with the pen. It all starts with the pen. All the antics is cool. You can have personality, character, all that stuff is cool. We love it. But that pen is the core of everything. And if you don't got that all the way down, I don't care. When you come across that pen, I don't care what you got, you're gonna lose. That pen is the core of everything. I feel like that was a very important year, and just like how you spoke to, the way you approach battle rap was unorthodox, very humble, wasn't really out there like that. So I think it's very important for you to win that belt because it showed a lot of people I could be myself. I don't have to do what, I see other people doing, or I don't have to conform to what I think the people want. I could just be me and still be there.
That's why I rock with who I rock with in this culture, man. Like, I think a lot of people know by now, like who I really rock with. The Marv Ones, the Quest for Cody's, the Real Deals, the A-Wards, the Avs. These are all people that I resonate with because I feel like we share this humility about us. Nah, we're not the loudest in the room. We're not gonna be on the Twitter spaces going crazy. You probably not gonna see us on OTFMZ and some crazy scandal. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not getting caught up in a bunch of negative shit. We prepare diligently. We show up. We put on a show. Chop it up. Connect with the fans. We get back to life as we know it. Right? We don't play a lot of extra games. We don't do a lot of extra stuff. And I think that no shade or disrespect to the battlers who really do put a lot of time and energy into the culture and their persona here, and how they're how they're viewed, and they spend a lot of time on socials interacting, and it can be great for your battle rap career if you have a life that allows you to do those things. But for the people that don't, or for the people that don't necessarily wish to be even bigger than they already are, it's a beautiful thing to just be comfortable in your own skin. And it's a beautiful thing to just be unapologetically who the fuck you are, and not feel like you have to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? To get the love or the props that you just naturally deserve. Feel me?
Yeah. Just take being real and consistency for sure.
That's it.
So I gotta ask, because Chilla, man, you done battled damn near every top tier there is. You done resume is crazy. And you got real strong performances against a lot of them, So I gotta ask, man, Chilla Jones, do you feel you have a strong case to be the GOAT?
I'm gonna keep it super real.
Let's go.
I am nowhere near being the overall GOAT. I think the overall GOATs, and I think for me those it would be a conversation between your Luxes, your Tay Rocks, your Mooks, your Hollow the Dons, your Iron Solomons, your T-Rexes, a lot of those people. I say that because their influence, their longevity, their ability to constantly headline or anchor monumental events over the past 15 years, I think is extraordinary. On top of that, a lot of things like YouTube views and a lot of that goes into it too. And unfortunately, my career is like half YouTube, half URL era. So I have 15 to 20 battles on the URL app that if they were on YouTube, I probably would be a top 20 viewed of all time. That's just not the case. I think if all my stuff were on YouTube and not stuck on the URL app, I probably would have a better case at the overall GOAT.
Okay.
Here's what I would say. I'm the best pen ever. That's what I would say. I would say I'm the GOAT pen.
Okay.
That's what I would say. And for me, that's based off a few different things. For me, that's based off of resume. That's based off longevity. That's based off of influence. And it's based off of accolades.
Okay.
King of the Dot Chain, Champion of the Year, changed the way people rapped for 3 years.
Definitely.
I've battled in 4 different countries. I've been at the top of URL. I've been at the top of King of the Dot. And then now I teach at the premier school for hip hop writing, right? And oh yeah, and I created it. So like,
okay.
So like, I think when it comes to like, you can have different favorites. You can prefer Nitty's style. You can prefer JC style. You can prefer Daylight style. Like preference is always subjective, and that's cool. Yeah. But when you start talking about the facts, when you start comparing resumes, Yeah, I was voted best pen as well. But when you start, that's true. But when you start, you know, for those that would dispute that, when you start looking at resumes, when you start looking at accolades, because I don't see Lux with a King of the Dot chain, and I don't see Lux with a Champion of the Year belt.
Exactly. That's why I ask these questions. You know, I want to hear your perspective. You know
what I'm saying? And people can downplay those awards, and people can even try to say that people like Lux are above or bigger than those awards. Listen, all of that is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at Champion of the Year and you see how difficult it is for people to win it, and then you look and you say, damn, Chilla won it in a year where he wasn't on Gnome. He wasn't on Summer Madness. Oh, and guess what? You could only rap in empty rooms.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like all the extra shit got taken away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you a star? Let me take away your power. Now show me you a star. And every nigga they put in front of me got torched.
And that's where you excelled, because it came down to that pen.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like, people sometimes like to downplay the fact that I won Cody in the era that I won it in. Some people like to say that I had it easier. That it was easier for me to win it because I won it in an era where there weren't 1,500 person rooms and 2,000 person stages. All of that is cool.
Yeah.
But during that era, all of y'all favorites look like dirt.
Oh God.
And y'all got to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all people got to kind of look at why.
A couple GOATs got bodied during that era, you know.
Talk about it. They didn't look the same.
Yeah.
They didn't look the same when they didn't have 1,500 people to repeat their slogan or cheer for some shit that didn't necessarily need to be cheered for. When you couldn't just sway the crowd and build your own momentum and feed off that, when you just had to go in there and rap better than the nigga standing across from you, a lot of people didn't look like gods. A lot of them didn't look like top tiers. A lot of them looked regular. And a lot of the people that they will try to tell the masses are regular look like gods. Danny looked like a god in that era. I was a god in that era. B-Dot was a god in that era. Because it was just about rapping really fucking good. Nitty was a god in that era. Because you just had to rap there. You just had to rap there. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to pens, I think I'm the greatest pen of all time, man. It's going to be really hard for somebody to ever convince me different. I think I'm the greatest pen of all time. I don't think I have the most quotables. I don't think I have the most preferred style. But when you're talking facts, you're talking resume, when you're talking accolades, when you're talking influences, when you're talking everything, I think I'm the best pen to ever do it, bro.
I'm not mad at that at all. You got a damn strong case. And, you know, I'm damn near compelled to agree with you. You know, the pen is definitely next level for sure. And that perspective you just gave to, you know, with a lot of dudes, you know, looking weak during that time, like that really just put like a light bulb in my head. And that really like damn, like crowd sometimes is really saving a lot of people, you know. You know, so that's a wow. So of course, you know, we brought up your DJ Vlad interview earlier. And in one of your interviews, you know, I noticed you said that, you know, you got your style from Mook, Lux, and Rex. So this Mexico card coming up, how does it feel that you are locked in with T-Rex, man?
It's one of them. This is a bucket list for me. And to be honest, I wasn't gonna be on this card, bro. It felt like self-serving. Like I don't ever want people to mistake, like I don't want people to ever be like, oh, Chilla helped put the event together, so that's why he got Rex.
Mm.
And I don't
I
necessarily
think
think
that's a bad take though.
people think that. Like I think my work speaks for itself.
Yeah, I'm
But
about to say
but
you
at
have
this
battled a lot of names. That'll be a dumb take.
yeah, but at the same time, I also like in my mind I was like, I don't want this shit to be about me. I know it's a
Mhm.
massacre event. I know I headline most of the massacre events, or at least co-headline. But I don't want this. I don't want this massacre to be about me. I want this massacre to be about New England. I don't want
Mm.
it to be about me.
Real.
And so I I for the most part I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna sit out. Let's just use that money to make the car bigger. Don't pay me like whatever. And it was Kenny was like, yo, we've been doing Shark Tank. We've been you know we've been trying to provide for everybody else in this region just in terms of giving certain battlers certain opportunities and looking out and trying to you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
do the best that we can do for New England on a battler by battler basis by providing certain opportunities. And he was like, yo, when are you gonna like when can we do something for you? Like when can we like when do we look out for you? Like yeah, we I'm a Crucible scout. I always put New England niggas in there. I don't even look outside of New England because I'm putting New England niggas in there, and that's just how I feel. Um, as King of the Dot champ, I made a New England division. I don't care about y'all other divisions. My region need a division. I've always been that guy. But Kenny was like, "Yo, if you were on this card, who would it be?" I said Rex of Herb.
Ooh, jeez.
Rex of Herb. I said, if you get Rex of Herb for a good number, I'll do it. Rex had been at the Tay Rock Light Bars tournament. Rex was already kind of wanting to work with us. And so yeah, I mean that was an easy thing to put together. I got a friendship with T Rex, so it was easy to put together. And as my man, I'm sad for what's about to happen to him. But I spoke to him earlier this week, and he's talking his shit. So
Okay.
I'm excited to get to stand in front of 3 Rex rounds. I no bullshit. I texted him. I said, "Yo, Rex." I said, "No matter what happens, bro, like win, lose, or draw, I need you to slam your hat. Like I need one of those. I'm not gonna feel like this is a fight until you slam your hat. When you slam your hat, I'm gonna know like,
Yeah, it's real.
all right, it's real. It's real. It's one of those. I said, if you don't slam your hat, bro, I'm gonna feel disrespected. I'm gonna feel disrespected. Like if I battle Verb and he didn't do a Showtime, I would feel disrespected. Like, oh, you didn't feel like you needed that? You didn't feel like you needed to have a Showtime to beat me? You didn't feel like you needed to slam your hat and spin around to beat Chilla in mass?
Mm.
Don't do that. Please just make sure you slam your hat, bro. I don't want to have to slam it for you.
And
You know what I'm
that'll be
saying?
crazy if that has to happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like go ahead and do me that favor. So we laughed about it. He said he was like, I'm clipping up for you, Chilla. I'm not like I'm trying to kill you. I said, good. That's what I want. I want us to have the battle of the night. I know we cool, but I don't want niggas to know we cool for those 20 minutes that we in the ring.
Yeah. I'm a little glad it's Rex though, because I don't
Me
think
too.
I don't think I want to hear Verb on the spaces every day, promoting on Chilla.
Yo, and I literally told I literally told Kitty, dog. I said, yo, a battle with Verb is not just a battle with Verb.
At all.
A battle with Verb. Kitty loved that nigga, man. I said a battle with Verb means I gotta battle his fans. It means I gotta battle spaces. It means I gotta wake up and get tagged by OTFMZ because Verb is gonna make up some wild allegation, and then if I don't deny it, then niggas gonna think it's like it's a thing. It's a thing. Like it's a life consuming. Like it's not just writing for a battle and showing up. Like it's a you got to clear your schedule for a battle with Verb. Like you really got to clear your schedule. You got to be like, for the next month, I got to be ready to jump in a space and address some bullshit lie. I got to be ready to do an interview, clearing up some shit he's finna say. Like you can't just sign up for a battle with Verb and think you finna just write 3 rounds and go rap. He's gonna put you to work, boy. Like that would have been a lot for me to deal with that and put together Massacre. That would have been a lot. So I'm glad it was Rex.
Yeah,
I'm glad it was Rex.
That could be hella stressful. A lot of YouTube posts. It's a lot that's gonna come with that. A lot.
Facts.
Okay, man. So I'm feeling this interview real heavy, man. I learned a lot of stuff about you, man. A lot of stuff, man. I didn't know that high school dropout, man. Your intelligence does not speak to that at all, man. At all. Very intelligent. I would have assumed, at least got an associate's degree or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will be honest, man. Like, just the pen, the way you get into it, it's like, I would have never assumed that. That's crazy, man. But with this card, man, how you calling this battle? How you we 30 in Rex? We 30 in Rex. What we doing?
I am preparing with a 30 in mind. I am preparing with a 30 in mind. There's something about people from Harlem that, because of the respect I have for those battlers, and because of my perception of Harlem as a battle rap fan, like watching Lions Den and stuff, Harlem rappers always get the best Chilla, whether it's Head Ice for the chain, whether it's K-Shine for Champion of the Year, and whether it's T-Rex for Mass. Harlem rappers, when they stand in front of me, they get the best version of me. Always. So, I know what I'm finna do. Rex can decide whether this is a 30 or whether he leaves with a round. That's up to Rex. I'm leaving with 2. If I get that third, I'm happy. But I'm leaving with 2.
Okay.
For sure. I almost could tell you what rounds, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm leaving with 2 for sure.
Hey, that's all I need to know. We'll find out what rounds on a card, you feel me? Usually, I would say a lot of your ops, their first are usually like their strongest, So that's more, I'm anticipating that strong opening from Rex. Want to see what happens with that second and third from there.
Exactly. You know the game.
Yeah. Before I get any closing statements for you, I just got 2 questions. I want to know, what's Chilla Jones' favorite battle that he participated in?
Mm-hmm.
What's going to be the battle of the night on this card? And then from there, the floor is yours and your closing statements.
Got you. Favorite battle I participated in. I'm gonna say Daylight. My favorite battle for a few different reasons. First time meeting and getting to chop it up with Method Man. B, I felt a lot of pressure at the time to create another battle as good as my battle with JC. And mentally, I just felt like I was on a clock. Like I felt imagine like dropping a 50-point game as a rookie and people being like, oh, a nigga Chilla might be next up. He might be nice. but then maybe you have another battle or two when you drop like 12 points, and then you drop like 18. And it's like people waiting to see, like, is he gonna drop another 50? Like is he for real? Like, is he him? Or was this just like a fluke? So the battle with Daylight was like, I gave y'all a classic on URL with JC. All right, here, King of the Dot. Here's a classic with Daylight. Like, now stop asking me if I'm him. I'm him. This should be it. We shouldn't be asking no more if my talent is solidified. Like, I'm him now. That's what it felt like. So Daylight for sure. What's gonna be the battle of the night on Mass 6? I feel silly giving you one choice. I'm gonna give you three that I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Big K and Rock. Let's get that out the way.
For sure.
Looking forward to that. That battle is over 10 years in the making. It's a grudge. The current champion of the year versus the favorite for this year's champion of the year. Like, for so many reasons, this is a battle that is literally happening at the perfect time in their careers. Okay, out the way. Now, 2 and 3. I'm really excited for Pass the New Jersey Twerk.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
Pass is somebody on the very short list of people that made me feel like I lost the battle to them. There's not a lot of those people out there. There's Pass, there's Ilmac, there's Emerson Kennedy, maybe like one or two other ones somewhere in these 12 years. But like 4 or 5 people out of 100 battles. But Pass is one. I underestimated Pass when I battled him, and he went to the moon on me. And I might have got around, but he got too clear. And so looking at this battle, I don't think Twerk is going to make the same mistake I did, especially not with it being his King of the Dot debut.
Yeah, let's pray. Let's pray for that.
I think Twerk is gonna be on point. So I expect a high level Twerk and a high level Pass to give us one of the best battles probably of the year, not even the event. They're both on 10. And then lastly, I'm really excited for Yoshi and Chirac.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited for Yoshi and Chirac.
Emotional.
That battle, like, those are two of the best rapping women in our culture.
Yeah.
Those are two of the best rapping women in our culture.
And their voices are very similar. I like their voices. It's gonna sound nice to me. I think.
The voices are similar. And I think what's also cool about this battle is I think a lot of Yoshi's recent battles have been like, there have either been some type of like grudge or storyline to it, or there's been like some type of history. And so I think it's dope that Yoshi and Chirac they don't have a history. They don't have a grudge. They're just two people that rap at a really high level and kind of just get to attack each other. They get a fresh slate. Like, Yoshi can talk about whatever she wants to talk about with Rack, and Rack can talk about whatever she wants to talk about with Yoshi. They both have things that you can discuss. They both have things that you can bring up and be clever with. but there's
Definitely.
no animosity, right? There's nothing that's gonna turn that battle. You know, this isn't like Rack and Tony was. This isn't like Yoshi and 40 was. This is just like good ass rapping minus the negative energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's exciting for me. I think it can be one of the top. You know, I think Chirac and Casey on Shark Tank was a top 10 battle in female battle rap that year. And I think Yoshi and Chirac can be a top 5 battle in female battle rap this year. So I'm really excited for that. Those would be my 3, but can't sleep on Sharon and 40. Can't sleep on Mike and Deal. Can't sleep on Ward and Saurus.
For sure.
There's so many battles, but those are my 3. K and Rock, Pass and Twerk, Yoshi, Chirac. Those are my 3.
I like those. Very lyrical. Some good things come out of those for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So you got any closing statements on this interview? Anything you know?
Man, www.kotdtv.com to get your tickets or pay-per-view. Definitely be in a building if you can be in a building, man. Like I said earlier, like just the opportunity to network if you can be in a building is going to be worth it. You never know who's going to be in a building. I'm hearing the powers that be from URL may be in a building. I'm hearing the powers that be from Chrome 23 may be in a building. I'm hearing Easy the Block Captain may be in the building. I'm hearing Shotgun Suge is going to be in the building. Even if you are not rapping, if you are a battle rapper or a battle rap fan of the culture, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, anywhere within driving distance, you need to be at Mass 6 as a battle rap fan. The same way you need to be at Kings versus Queens, the same way you need to be at a Gnome or a Summer Madness event. New England, this is our Gnome/Summer Madness. Everybody who's connected to it, New England battle rap should be in the building. Should be in the building. Like, if it's just for one day, it's for one day. But y'all should be in the building for at least one day. For at least one day. Pull up, have a blast, have a good time. This is going to be battle rap culture history. It's going to happen in New England, and I think we should all, if we can, all be there and be present for it. Otherwise, man, I appreciate you for having me, B&B. Salute to us the word. Glad to be here. Glad to do this interview. And yeah, man, just appreciate you. Appreciate the platform.
Definitely. We appreciate you as well, too, man. You know, you could be doing a lot of things right now and you spend your time with us. We really appreciate you, man. This is very beneficial to the platform. So appreciate you and keep working. Go catch that 2-1 that you said you're going to get. You know what I mean?
I got you. Hey, listen, I'll be ready to spin the block to recap the whole of it with y'all. So let's get it done.
Happen. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Yes.
Man. Now that right there is what I call a solid interview, man. Like, this is the reason why I wanted to do these type of interviews, you know, get some backstory on the artist, you know, hear how they grew up. Like wow, I would have never guessed, you know what I'm saying, Chilla Jones, you know, the story he had, you know what I mean? I would have never guessed that, you know, so that's why it's real good, you know, to really, you know, ask these questions, get the backstory, you know. I feel like when I watch his battles now, it's gonna just give me a different perspective, you know, as well, you know, as I'm watching it, like, you know, you see where the pen comes from, you know, that mindset, you know, it's such a dope thing. But ladies and gentlemen, we about to get up out of here. KOTDTV.com. Get your tickets ASAP with the Massacre 6 is in New England. Get your tickets. Do not get me tight. You feel me? The Massacre 6 is here. We got mad fire battles, man. Do y'all see this? Chilla versus T-Rags. Paz versus New Jersey Twerk. Geechee Gotti versus Marv 1. Real Sick versus Charlie Clips. Real Deal versus Mike P. The Saurus versus A-Ward. Oh my God. That's just nuts right there. Danny Myers versus Elijah Straight. And if y'all didn't hear, Elijah Strait and Danny Myers was in the spaces earlier today. Go back and take a listen because they was having a little face-off going back and forth. And, you know, that made me a little bit more excited for their matchup. You know, I feel like Elijah Strait, you know, Elijah Strait's super fire, but I feel like he put a little battery in Danny Myers' back, you know, because I feel like he won his face-off with him, even though I don't know if that was an actual face-off, but they was going back and forth. And I feel like Elijah got the best of Danny in that little back and forth. But that also, you know, Danny's dangerous. Doing stuff like that could put a battery in somebody's back. So be careful with that battle, man. Danny Myers versus Elijah Strait. That's going to be a good one. Keep your eye on that. We got Sharon versus 40 Bars. That's one of those battles that, you know, you didn't even know we needed. But I'm glad that it was put together because that's very dope. We got Excel versus Chef Trez. Oh, my Jesus. The bars we about to hear is crazy. Now, I will say this, Excel. I want to see you get into your freestyling bag a little bit, man, going against Chef Trez because, you know, we all know your pen is up there. It's elite, you know, but, you know, going against a Chef Trez, got to do a little bit more, you know, so I really want to see how Excel navigates his battle with Chef Trez. You know, Chef Trez very dangerous. We got Emerson Kennedy versus City Towers. Very, very good matchup. And City's been doing his thing lately. You know what I mean? Emerson Kennedy, we already know what he do, you know, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well. We got Frack versus John and Dawn. Oh, my God, man. Shout out to Frack. Just got put on Wild and Out. John and Dawn been on a nice little run lately. You know what I mean? That battle was very, very well put together. We got E. Pharrell versus Pepe. I don't know if it's Pep or Pepe, one of the two. You know, I'm sorry. Don't. You know what I'm saying? You got to make your names clear. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my fault. We got Yoshi G versus Chirac. Ooh, we just talking about that. Cone versus Def the Kid. Ooh. We got Lefty versus Tusabe. Oh, man. That right there, I'm looking forward to what Tusabe is going to do in this battle. I'm definitely looking forward. And then we got Stretch versus GK, the Gun God. Don't get me tight. This battle, this card, man, this is going to be one of those ones. And without, because, you know, just because I'm saying this last, don't mean this is the least, you know. Big K versus Tay Rock. The battle that we all want to see. This battle is going to be one of those ones. Please make sure you get your tickets and make sure y'all in the building. You're not going to want to miss this. This is history in the making. This is history in the making. No exaggeration. This is history. So please get your tickets. Cop up. There's a lot of people promoting this card. There's a lot of people talking about this card. So make sure y'all tap in, support. You know what I mean? And from there, rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me. Till next time, y'all know the vibes.
Pull up on your block like what's the word? What's the word? Ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve. Pull up on your block like what's the word? What's the word? We unbiased and it's getting on their nerves. That's I'm like, fact. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? And I'm on their ass just like a perv. Like a perv. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve. Switch up, never give up. Ayy. This that content that fill them ribs up. Really eat, dig up, most shit don't miss us. Ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve. Pull up on your block like what's the word? I ain't got shit to buy, I'm tryna serve.